Chapter 7. The Surface. The restricted lift groans as it ascends, the old machinery clanking and humming in the dim red emergency lighting. The air grows cooler, thicker, with the scent of rust and forgotten dust. The kind that hasn't been disturbed since the seals were first set decades ago. Marcus stands at the front, facing the doors, his face a mask of hardened purpose, jaw set, eyes fixed on the seam where the lift will open. His gloved hands flex at his sides, pipe wrench slung heavy on his belt. No words, just resolve. Nathan leans against the back wall, arms crossed, helmet visor raised. His eyes track the flickering floor numbers climbing slowly on the scarred panel. Each tick upward is a reminder of how deep they've buried themselves from the world above. He shifts his weight, mech suit frame clinking softly against the wall. Redact stands off to the side, one hand in his pocket, absent-mindedly spinning a small die between his fingers, the one he'd pocketed by accident from last night's card game with James. The plastic clicks softly, a tiny rhythm in the silence. His thumb rolls it over and over, mind elsewhere. The three men don't speak. One thing binds their thoughts: James, the boy up there, alone in the wasteland. The lift shudders to a halt at ground zero. A warning clacks and blares once harsh, final. The doors grind open with a hiss of equalizing pressure. Beyond, a rusted hatchway leading to a decontamination chamber, then the outer blast doors. The surface waits. Radiation counters on their suits begin to tick softly. Marcus steps forward first.
Let's bring him home.
Nathan pushes off the wall, slinging his rifle. Redact pockets the die, nods once. Marcus steps up to the blast door's terminal, the ancient console flickering to life under the harsh red emergency lights. Dust clings to the keys. The screen is cracked but still functional. He pulls off one glove with his teeth, flexes his fingers, and starts the decryption sequence old military-grade cipher layered with Abiotics custom overrides from the evacuation era. Lines of code scroll fast across the display. Green text. Red warnings. A progress bar creeps forward. 5%. 12%. 28%. Behind him, Nathan moves methodically through the corner of the decontamination chamber, prying open rusted crates and lockers bolted to the wall. He's looking for anything useful. Extra rad tabs, sealed MREs, spare respirator filters, maybe a working Geiger wand that isn't half dead. Metal clangs softly as he tosses aside useless, junk-empty ammo boxes, shredded hazmat scraps, a cracked helmet visor. Redact stands off to the side, back to the wall, .357 Magnum, steady in both hands, barrel pointed low but ready. His eyes flick between the sealed inner doors and the outer blast doors, respirator hissing with each slow breath. He's the last line of defense if something tries to come through before they're ready to leave. The terminal beeps sharp, insistent. Decryption complete. Warning, surface conditions critical. Radiation levels lethal. Within 4 to 6 hours, unprotected. Door unlock sequence initiated. A deep mechanical groan echoes through the chamber. The massive blast doors begin to part slow at first, then faster grinding against decades of accumulated grit and corrosion. A thin line of blinding daylight cuts through the gap, then widens into a harsh rectangle of gray-white wasteland skies. Dust swirls inward on a hot, dry wind. The smell hits them even through the filters, ozone-baked earth, faint metallic rot. Beyond the doors, cracked concrete aprons stretching toward a horizon of ruined, skyline-twisted girders, collapsed overpasses, the distant shimmer of what might have once been Las Vegas. Now, just a heat-hazed mirage of melted glass and radiation. Nathan finishes loading a final pack, slings it over his shoulder, and steps up beside Marcus.
Looks like home sweet hell.
Redact holsters the .357, adjusts his respirator strap, and gives a single nod.
James is out there. Let's not keep him waiting.
Marcus stares into the wasteland for one long second, face hard, eyes burning with purpose. Then he steps forward. The three men walk out together, boots crunching on irradiated gravel, into the unforgiving light of a dead world. Geiger counters begin to tick faster. The wasteland, 100 kilometers northwest of Las Vegas ruins. The sun hangs low and angry, a bloated red eye in a sky the color of old rust. The Mojave stretches out in every direction. Cracked earth, skeletal Joshua trees, and the occasional glint of twisted metal half buried in sand. Marcus spots it first. An old Abiotic Labs golf cart, tilted on one flat tire, half swallowed by the drifting dunes. The faded logo on the side, Abiotic Labs, internal transport, is barely legible under layers of dust and sun-bleached paint. The three men slow their march, boots crunching on brittle gravel. Nathan lets out a low whistle.
Remember these things? We used to race them down the sub-level corridors like idiots.
Redact chuckles, the sound muffled by his respirator.
Yeah, you crashed one into the coffee machine, took out the entire night shift's caffeine supply.
Marcus's mouth quirks behind his visor, almost a smile.
Worth it. Got a week of double overtime out of it.
They approach the cart together. The seats are cracked vinyl, steering wheel cracked plastic, but the frame still looks solid enough. A rusted container is bolted to the rear cargo bed, lid half ajar. Redact kneels, pries it open with a gloved hand. Inside, a single, unopened bottle of vodka, label faded but intact, the kind of cheap but effective stuff they use to keep stashed in the break room for emergencies. Redact's eyes light up behind the visor.
Jackpot!
He grabs the bottle quickly, wipes dust off the label with his sleeve, and tucks it into his pack like it's treasure. Marcus and Nathan exchange glances, tired smiles breaking through the grimness. Redact stands, patting the bag.
For when we get the kid back, we're toasting with this. No arguments.
Nathan nods once.
Deal.
Marcus looks out across the endless dust-covered streets, old highways, cracked and overgrown, distant ruins shimmering in the heat haze.
Let's keep moving. James is waiting.
They push on together. Three silhouettes in radiation suits, a golf cart half buried behind them like a ghost from better days, vodka sloshing softly in Redact's pack. The wasteland doesn't care about memories, but they do, and that's enough to keep them walking. The three men freeze mid-step as the strange sound drifts across the wasteland, a wet, ripping noise, punctuated by low, guttural chewing. Ahead, half buried in the cracked asphalt, sits the rusted shell of a pre-bomb sedan, its hood long gone, windows shattered into jagged teeth. Crouched over something dark and motionless beside the driver's door is a figure human-shaped, but wrong. It's feeding. Marcus raises a gloved hand in silent signal. They spread out instinctively, Nathan dropping to a knee for stability, rifle already coming up. Redact stepping forward slightly, hand on his. .357, Marcus covering the flank with his carbon. Redact's voice cuts through the dry wind, calm but firm.
Hey, you. You haven't seen a little boy come through here, have you? Possibly with other adults?
The creature freezes, mid-bite. Slowly, agonizingly, it straightens. What stands is almost a man. Almost. Skin hangs in loose, peeling sheets from his frame, blistered and blackened by decades of radiation. The face is a nightmare mockery of human, no nose, just two ragged holes, lips cracked and receded to expose yellowed teeth, eyes milky white and sunken, yet somehow still tracking them. The clothes shreds of old military fatigues cling to the body like wet rags. For a heartbeat, nothing moves. Then the creature sprints. Fast. Too fast for something that broken. Redact's 357 snaps up, hammerback, finger tightening. Cracked. The sound is deafening in the open desert. The creature's head jerks sideways, skull bursting in a spray of dark fluid and bone. It collapses mid-stride, skidding across the asphalt in a boneless heap. Redact's ears ring high, whining. He lowers the revolver, blinking. Nathan lowers his sniper rifle from the shoulder, barrel still smoking slightly. Redact's deafened shout, voice exaggerated and loud.
I had him.
Nathan turns, grinning, and mimics Redact's deafened state and says,
You get the next one.
They share a quick, sharp grin, the old battlefield humor that's kept them alive this long. Then the moment passes. The three approach the body cautiously, weapons still ready. Up close, the horror is worse. The man was once military. Dog tags still hang around the shredded neck, faded but readable. Sergeant E. Harlan, USMC. The radiation burns are old, layered, as if he's been out here since the bombs fell. No sign of recent wounds except the clean exit through the skull. Nathan crouches, visor reflecting the corpse.
Ghoul, or whatever the survivors started calling them. Radiation did the rest. They're not fast usually. This one was.
Redact nudges the body with his boot, checking for traps or scavenged gear.
No weapons, no pack, just hunger.
Marcus stares down at the ruined face, something tight in his chest.
James is out here with things like this.
He looks up northwest, toward the distant shimmer of ruined Vegas.
We keep moving. Eyes open.
Nathan slings the rifle back across his chest.
Copy, and next time, Redact, let the sniper handle the headshots.
Redact snorts, reholstering the 357.
Next time, I'll let you get eaten first.
Marcus doesn't smile. He just starts walking again. The wasteland stretches ahead, silent, endless, and hungry. Nathan raises a gloved hand as the three men pause on the cracked highway shoulder.
Wait a second.
He shrugs off the collapsed mech frame strapped to his back, sets it down with a metallic clank, and begins unfolding the limbs with practice snaps and whirs. Servos hum to life. The suit rises from its compact state into a 7-foot skeleton of matte black armor. Visor dark, arms hanging loose. Nathan looks at Marcus.
Get in.
Marcus stares at the open chest cavity, then back at Nathan.
I'm not ready for that thing. It takes practice, balance, controls, the whole damn interface. I'll trip over my own feet.
Nathan doesn't flinch.
There's no better time than now. You want to cross this wasteland fast? You want to be the one who reaches James first if something's waiting? Then you learn on the move. I'll talk you through it.
Marcus hesitates, eyes flicking toward the distant shimmer of ruined Vegas, 100 kilometers of death between them and his son. Redact watches quietly, arms crossed, respirator hissing with each breath. Marcus exhales through his teeth.
Fine.
He steps forward. Nathan guides him in back first, shoulders slotting into the padded harness. The chest plate closes with a heavy hydraulic hiss. Arms lock into sleeves, legs seal around boots. A final click, and the suit powers up, fully HUD flickering to life inside Marcus's visor. Green status bars scrolling across his vision. The world tilts as the suit stands upright. Marcus is now 7 feet tall, towering over Nathan and Redact. He takes one cautious step, servos whining, and nearly stumbles, catching himself with a quick metal hand against the rusted car husk.
Whoa, shit.
Redact lets out a low whistle, staring up in open amazement.
Look at you, Marcus, a walking tank.
Nathan steps in front, hands raised like a coach.
Easy. Bend your knees a little. Don't fight the gyros. Let them help. Shift weight forward when you step. Think smaller steps at first.
Marcus nods inside the helmet, takes another step smoother this time. The suit responds with a low hum, servos compensating for his slight overcorrection.
Good.
Nathan says.
Now try turning slow pivot on the ball of your foot. Don't swing the arms like you're chopping wood.
Marcus rotates clumsy at first, then smoother. The suit's balance system kicks in. He stops wobbling.
Better. Now walk a straight line 20 meters. Keep your eyes on the horizon, not your feet.
Marcus moves forward step, boots crunching gravel. The suit's weight feels less alien with each stride. He reaches the end of the invisible line, turns, and walks back. Redact grins behind his visor.
Damn, you're getting it.
Nathan nods approval.
Last one. Sprint 10 meters, then stop on a dime. Trust the brakes, they'll catch you.
Marcus tenses, then launches forward long strides, eating distance, dust kicking up behind him. He reaches the mark, and plant suit servos whining as they arrest momentum. He doesn't fall. He stands there a moment, breathing hard inside the helmet.
Okay. I think I've got the basics.
Nathan claps once.
You've got more than basics. You'll be fine. Just remember, the suit's stronger than you are. Don't punch anything you don't want to turn into paste.
Redact chuckles.
And if we run into more of those ghouls, let the big guy handle them.
Marcus flexes the suit's massive hands, metal fingers curling into fists with a soft whine.
Let's move.
The 3 men push on Marcus, now leading in the towering mech, footsteps shaking the earth, Nathan and Redact flanking on foot. The wasteland stretches ahead. James is still out there. And they're coming faster now. The 3 men press on down the cracked, dust-choked highway, boots and mech footsteps kicking up small clouds that hang in the still air. The wasteland is quiet, except for the low whistle of wind through ruined billboards, and the occasional creak of rusted metal settling in the heat. After a few kilometers, the outline of a small pre-bomb town appears on the horizon, a single gas station standing like a lonely sentinel at the edge of what used to be a 2-lane road. No houses, no storefronts, just the faded red and white canopy of the old Pump Island and a squat cinder block building with shattered windows. They approach cautiously. Marcus halts the mech a few meters back. The suit's bulk won't fit through the narrow doorway. He plants himself in a wide stance, carbine raised, visor scanning the perimeter.
Clear so far. Go.
Redact pushes the creaking door open with his shoulder, 357 already drawn. Nathan follows right behind, rifle up, sweeping the dim interior. Inside, dust thick enough to ride in. Shelves half collapsed, faded candy wrappers, and empty chip bags scattered like confetti. The air smells of mildew, old motor oil, and something faintly metallic. They move methodically. Redact checking aisles, Nathan hitting the back counter and coolers. Redact pauses near the old bathroom door at the rear. A faint, rhythmic hissing leaks through the crack-like air through a punctured tire, but wetter. He raises the .357 barrel steady, then reaches out with his free hand, fingers closing on the knob. He turns it slowly. The door explodes inward. A giant roach easily 3 feet long, carapace gleaming oily black, bursts out and slams Redact flat on his back. The thing lands on his chest, mandibles dripping green ooze that sizzles faintly on the radiation suit fabric. It rears, trying to clamp onto his faceplate. Redact grunts, arms straining as he holds the thrashing body away.
You never should have come here.
He jams the .357 barrel into the soft joint under the roach's thorax, pulls the trigger. The shot is deafening in the confined space. Green ichor sprays in every direction across Redact's visor, suit, the floor. The roach convulses once, legs twitching, then goes limp. Redact shoves the corpse off, rolls to his knees, and rips his respirator mask up just enough to spit green sludge out of his mouth. He grabs a half-empty water bottle from his pack, pours it over his face, scrubbing frantically with his sleeve. Nathan rushes over, rifle still up.
The hell was that? Looked like some kind of big beetle.
Redact turns, face already fed up, green streaks on his cheeks.
I knew I should have called out sick today.
Nathan can't help it. He laughs, short and sharp, then helps Redact finish wiping the worst of the guts off. They go back to work quiet now, more alert stuffing cans of beans, tuna, and ancient energy bars into packs. A few sealed bottles of water, a rusted first aid kit that still has bandages. Outside, Marcus stands guard, mech planted like a statue beside the pumps. A nearby trash can tips over with a metallic clatter. Marcus spins fast. A cat mangy, slightly buffed from radiation, fur patchy in places, freezes mid-step, green eyes wide. Marcus kneels, suit servos whining as the massive frame lowers and extends one huge metal hand, palm up.
Hey, little fella.
The cat stares, tail flicking, then creeps forward cautious, curious. It sniffs the gauntlet, then rubs its head against the cold plating. Marcus smiles behind the visor. He scoops the cat gently into the crook of his armored arm. The animal settles, purring faintly against the humming servos. Marcus scratches behind its ears with a careful finger, metal on fur. For a moment, the wasteland feels smaller. He sets the cat down gently. It sits beside him, tail curled around paws, watching the horizon like a second sentinel. Marcus resumes his watch, one hand resting lightly on the cat's head. Inside, Redact and Nathan finish loading. They step out, packs heavier. Redact spots the cat and raises an eyebrow.
Found a friend?
Marcus shrugs, suit shoulders creaking.
He found me.
Nathan grins.
Better company than ghouls.
The cat meows once as if agreeing. Marcus looks northwest toward the distant ruins.
Let's move.
The three men and one small, irradiated cat push on down the dusty highway, the gas station shrinking behind them. The sun dips low behind the broken horizon, painting the wasteland in bruised oranges and purples. Shadows stretch long across the cracked highway, and the air begins to cool sharp enough to bite through the radiation suits. Marcus's voice crackles over comms, low and matter-of-fact.
It's getting late. We need shelter before full dark. Move faster.
They pick up the pace, Marcus's mech suit thudding heavily. Nathan and Redact jogging to keep up. The cat, still unnamed, rides in the crook of Marcus's armored arm like it's the most natural thing in the world. A few kilometers later, the silhouette of an old RV appears off the shoulder tilted on flat tires, windows filmed with dust, one door hanging crookedly open like it gave up years ago. They approach cautiously. Redact and Nathan go in first, rifles up, sweeping the dim interior. A quick check, empty bunks, overturned table, scattered cans, no ghouls, no traps.
Clear.
Redact calls back. They step outside and help Marcus power down the mech. The suit unlocks with a hiss. Marcus climbs out, stretching stiff muscles, then carefully sets the cat on the ground. It immediately rubs against his leg. They gather dry scrub and a few splintered road signs for fuel, building a small, smokeless fire in a shallow pit beside the RV. The flames are low, controlled enough warmth without announcing their position to anything with eyes or nose. Nathan pulls ration packs from his bag, vacuum-sealed, military-grade, labeled in faded ink. He tosses one to each man. Redact catches his, tears it open, and grins as he reads the label.
Oh boy, Marcus, I got the last chili.
He waves the pouch teasingly. Marcus smirks, holding up his own.
That's fine. I got meatloaf with garlic bread.
Redacte's grin falters. He looks down at his chili pouch, then back up with exaggerated sadness.
Wanna trade?
Marcus laughs short, real, and they swap without hesitation. The three men settle around the fire, visors up, eating slowly in the flickering light. The cat curls into Marcus's lap, purring faintly, unbothered by the taste of canned chili or meatloaf in the air. A few minutes pass in companionable silence. Redact wipes his mouth, glances at the cat.
So, you keeping him? Needs a name, don't it?
Marcus looks down at the small, patchy bundle in his lap. The cat blinks up at him with one good eye, the other clouded from radiation but still bright with trust. After a moment, Marcus smiles, small, tired, genuine.
His name's Rad Dude.
Redact barks a laugh.
I see what you did there.
Nathan chuckles, then reaches into his pack.
Well, if he's staying around, he needs this.
He pulls out a small injector Rad Clear, the fast-acting anti-radiation cocktail they all carry. He kneels, gently presses it against the cat's scruff. A soft hiss. Rad Dude twitches once, then settles again, purring louder. Nathan scratches behind the cat's ears.
Can't have a radiated feline on the team. He'll literally kill everyone with cuteness.
Marcus huffs a quiet laugh. They finish eating, bank the fire low, and move inside the RV for the night. The interior is cramped, but intact enough room with three men and one small cat to curl up on the worn benches and floor. Marcus takes the narrow couch, Rad Dude immediately claiming his chest like it's his rightful throne. The cat kneads once, twice, then tucks his head under Marcus's chin and falls asleep, purring steadily. Redact and Nathan settle nearby, rifles close, packs within reach. The wind moans outside. The fire crackles faintly through the open door. Three men and one cat breathing in the dark. Tomorrow they push on toward the last known signature, toward whatever waits in the ruins. But tonight they rest. Together. The morning sun cuts through the open RV door like a blade, slicing straight across Redact's face. He stirs, groaning, one arm thrown over his eyes. The smell of fresh coffee drifts in, strong, bitter, the kind Marcus always brews too dark. Redact smiles despite himself, pushes up on one elbow, yawns wide enough to crack his jaw. He swings his legs off the narrow bench, boots hitting the metal floor with a dull thud, and shuffles toward the door. Still half asleep, respirator dangling from his neck, 3 of 57 left on the table inside. He steps out into the light. Bam! A metal pipe cracks across his face, fast, heavy, no warning. Redact's head snaps sideways. He drops hard to hands and knees, gravel biting into his palms. Blood floods his mouth instantly, coppery and warm. It drips in thick strings onto the dirt between his fingers. Vision swims blurry shapes, double images. He forces his head up. Nathan and Marcus are already down-tied back-to-back by the dying fire, wrists bound with scavenged wire and duct tape scavenged from who knows where. Both men are slumped, unconscious or close to it, heads lolling. Marcus's pipe wrench lies discarded a few feet away, useless. Nathan's rifle is gone. Figures move in the haze, 4, maybe 5, silhouetted against the rising sun. Rough clothing, patched radiation gear, faces wrapped in scarves and goggles. One holds the pipe, blood on the end. Another cradles a battered hunting rifle, Nathan's. Redact tries to speak, tries to curse, but blood fills his throat. His arms shake, the world tilts. The lead figure steps closer, boots crunching.
Morning, lab rat.
Redact's vision tunnels. Everything goes black. When Redact comes to, the sun is higher, harsher. His face throbs, split lip, swollen cheek, one eye half shut. He's propped against the RV tire, wrists zip-tied in front, ankles bound. The fire is dead ash now. Coffee pot lies on its side, contents soaked into the dirt. Marcus and Nathan are still tied, but conscious Marcus glaring murder, Nathan scanning every movement like he's already counting exits. 5 raiders now lean, hard-eyed, radiation scars on exposed skin. Their leader squats in front of Redact, twirling the bloody pipe like a baton.
Lab boy, what you doing out here?
He says, voice rough from dust and years.
Thought you lot were all dead or hiding underground forever. Guess the kid was worth coming up for.
Redact's stomach drops. They know about James. Marcus's voice cuts through, low and dangerous.
Where is he?
The leader laughs, short, ugly.
Safe. For now. Boss wants a word with the big lab. Says you got tech, medicine, clean water. Says you owe the surface for leaving us to rot.
He stands, taps the pipe against his palm.
So here's how this works. You're coming with us, quiet-like. Or we start cutting pieces off the kid until you change your mind.
Nathan's eyes flick to Redact's silent message. Wait, watch, find the opening. Redact spits blood onto the dirt. Meets the leader's gaze.
You hurt that boy. You won't live long enough to regret it.
The leader smirks.
Big words from a tied-up lab rat.
He nods to his men.
Get him up. We move at dusk. Cooler then.
They haul Marcus and Nathan to their feet. Redact is yanked upright, last pain lancing through his face. As their march toward a cluster of patched-together vehicles hidden behind a dune, old motorcycles, a jury, rigged truck, Redact catches Marcus's eye. A single look passes between them. We're getting James back, and we're not going quietly. The raiders shove and push the three men down the dusty highway, boots kicking up small clouds of radioactive grit that cling to their suits. The sun beats down merciless, turning the air into a shimmering haze. The captives are bound at the wrist zip ties, cutting into skin beneath gloves, forced into a single-file march. One raider, a wiry man with a scarred lip and goggles pushed up on his forehead, falls in beside Redact, grinning wide enough to show missing teeth.
Boy, looks like someone went and fucked you up good.
The others laugh, harsh, barking sounds that echo off the cracked asphalt. Redact turns his head slowly, blood still crusted at the corner of his mouth from the earlier pipe blow. He spits a thick red glob that lands near the raider's boot.
Remove these bindings and say that shit again.
He lunges forward, shoulders straining against the ties. Two raiders grab him instantly, hands clamping on arms, yanking him back. A third drives a knee hard into Redact's stomach. The air explodes from his lungs. He drops to his knees, gasping, fresh blood flecking his lips. The scarred-lip raider crouches in front of him, close enough that Redact can smell the sour rot on his breath.
You lab boys really are something else.
He says, almost admiring.
But that won't matter once we get you fellas to Las Vegas.
Marcus, walking a few paces ahead, wrists bound, mech suit, left behind at the RV under guard, snaps his head around.
Where's my son? Tell me where he is.
The raider leader turns, eyes narrowing behind cracked goggles.
Well, you're gonna find out.
Before Marcus can respond, another raider steps up and slams the butt of his rifle into Marcus's ribs hard enough to double him over, air whooshing out in a pained grunt. Keep moving. They haul Redact back to his feet, shove him forward. The column resumes, dust swirling, chains of zip ties rattling, the distant ruins of Las Vegas shimmering like a fever dream on the horizon. Nathan walks between them, silent, eyes flicking, counting raiders, 5 total, noting weapons, rifles, pipe, 1 shotgun, watching for patterns, openings, anything. Redact coughs once wet, ragged, then straightens as best he can, blood drying on his chin. Marcus keeps his head down, breathing steady through the pain. They march toward Vegas, toward answers. The dusty highway stretches on, merciless, under the high sun. Dehydration sets in, fast mouths dry, vision tunneling at the edges, legs heavier with every step. The raiders are feeling it too. Their shoves grow lazier, their curses quieter. Ahead, a small, sagging pre-bomb house appears off the shoulder single-story, roof half-caved, windows boarded with warped plywood. The paint has peeled to bare gray wood long ago. The lead raider raises a hand, halting the column.
Check it.
He grunts to 2 of his men.
Water, food, anything worth taking.
The 2 raiders shoulder their rifles and disappear through the splintered front door. Marcus, Nathan, and Redact stand in the middle of the road, wrists still bound, flanked by the remaining 3 raiders, the leader, and 2 twitchy subordinates. The captives exchange quick, silent glances. Now or never. Inside the house, screams erupt. Not human screams, something wet, guttural, furious. A crash wood splintering, glass shattering. A body slams against the inside wall hard enough to punch through drywall and siding. One raider bursts backward through the hole in the wall, lands in a heap at the captives' feet, chest caved, eyes wide and dead. The lead raider spins.
What the hell?
He bolts inside, rifle up. 2 seconds later, He flies back out the front door like he was shot from a cannon. He crashes to the dirt in front of Redact, blood pouring from a massive puncture wound in his chest, more bubbling from his mouth. He claws at the ground, eyes rolling toward Redact.
What just happened? To me?
Redact looks down at him, voice flat.
You bout to find out.
The Raider's hand drops, lifeless. Marcus drops to his knees beside the corpse, fingers already searching pockets. He finds the key ring zip tie cutters, snaps his own restraints first, then Nathan's, then Redact's. Freed, the three men rise. Redact freezes, staring past the bodies.
Guys, what in the fuck is that?
Marcus and Nathan turn. Standing in the shattered doorway of the house, a 7-foot beast demon-like, skin black and cracked like cooled lava, uncurved horns sweeping back from a skull-like face, red eyes glow. Claws drip with fresh blood. It opens a maw full of jagged teeth and roars a sound that shakes dust from the roof. It charges. Nathan reacts instantly, wrist display flashing as he slams a button. From the sky comes a streak of black metal. Nathan's mech suit crashes down like a meteor knees first directly onto the beast's back. The impact is cataclysmic. A wet crunch, a spray of black ichor, the creature's body bursting apart in 1,000 wet pieces. The mech lands in a crouch, servos whining, steam rising from the impact plates. Silence falls, only wind and dripping gore. Redact stares at the wreckage.
I think we got it.
Nathan just looks at him, then back at the pulped remains. The chest plate of the mech hisses open. Out hops Rad Dude. The cat lands lightly, shakes dust from his fur, and trots straight to Marcus. Marcus kneels, scoops him up.
Glad you're safe, buddy.
Rad Dude butts his head against Marcus's chin, purring like nothing happened. Nathan cuts in, voice tight.
Man, we gotta get to James fast. This place is getting crazy.
Marcus stands, cradling the cat.
Agreed.
He climbs back into the mech suit, sealing around him with a familiar hiss. 7 feet tall again, armored and unstoppable. Redact retrieves his .357 from the dead Raider's bag, along with spare ammo and a few protein bars. Nathan walks over, slings his sniper rifle across his chest, and nods at the mech.
Let's move.
Marcus sets Rad Dude gently on the mech's shoulder. The cat balances perfectly, tail flicking. The 4 of them, 3 men and 1 small irradiated cat, push on toward Las Vegas. On their own terms this time. No raiders, no ropes, just purpose. And the ruins waiting ahead. Las Vegas.